Hello, squirrel friends! It's me, Ale, and this time I want to talk you about my experience in the translation area. Let's start. When I finished the middle school, my English level was in a 30% of its capacity, I think. And in the middle school, I had English classes, but I didn't like the class. I knew some verbs, some basic vocabulary, but a very few expressions. And when I finished the school, I still love the language, but I didn't like the class during the semester in the middle school because I didn't know or learn new things or new topics about the language. The preparatory course of high school, I did a test, and according to the exam, I should be go in the pre-intermediate level, but I feel insecure about it, so I asked for a change to a lower level. And in my first semester, my first English teacher was Miss Ellie. She was very funny, cheerful, and relaxing, and her classes was very good. In her class, I feel very comfortable, and I learned a lot of vocabulary and so much of grammar. We did a lot of dynamics group and like play domino with the vocabulary or guess the words in the board, and I liked that. In her class, I really felt comfortable, and it was funny and very interesting. The class, I liked all the classes with Miss Ellie, and I remember we called the students' book like the happy book because the book is in color, and we called the sad book to the workbook because it's in black and white. Since that time, I called them in that way. Happy book and sad book. Well, I think the course of English with Miss Ellie was a little bit easy for me because I knew some things of the topics, but other I learned them very well. In second grade, I chose the translation area, and my first class was with teacher Alex. And he was my English teacher too, so I felt very excited and nervous about how would be the class. And I remember the first thing we do was a test, and it consisted in translate some lines, and we have to write another things in English, and that was the first thing we did. We started to translate in the second class. We had copies, and we have to read them, and then we have to search in word reference some new words that we didn't know, and finally we have to translate the whole text in Spanish, English to Spanish. The texts we translated were of different topics, and each one had new vocabulary but also have noun vocabulary. I improved in increasing more vocabulary to what I already knew, and I also improved in to be faster to translate a text and in my reading comprehension. Now I know more idiomatic expressions and more grammatical structures, and now I can put in the right form the words I want to say in the correct verb tense. Something I improve a lot is my pronunciation, because at the beginning of the course I had a lot of mistakes, and teacher Alex and Miss Laura helped me to correct it. I'm not saying that I have the perfect pronunciation, but I'm getting better in having better pronunciation, currents, and rhythm at the time to speak or say something than the past. In phonetics and phonology class with Miss Laura, it was difficult to me detect the phonemes and the pronunciation of them, but at the end I learned some of them, probably the most common. In translation class with teacher Alex, it was difficult to me be quick in translating the text, but the most hard thing was put context in the Spanish version of the text, because I didn't know how to put in order the words to make them have sense. It was really difficult to me, and I got stressed many times, and that's really take me a lot of time to do. Honestly, there are a few things I didn't like. For example, I didn't like translate legal documents in the translation class with Miss Dalia, because sometimes it was a little bit bored, but it was hard because we had to pay attention to many details and always use a formal vocabulary in legal translations. But the other things we did with Miss Dalia were very cool, because we did our own dubbing commercial, and we do the translation and the adaptation of American commercials to Mexico in the Mexican context, and that those activities were very funny and interesting to me. In the translation class with teacher Alex, I really love put the subtitles in YouTube videos, because it is a new way of translation to me, and at the end I found out I could put the subtitles on the videos of one of my favorite YouTubers, and I really loved that. Other thing I liked was when in pairs we passed from of the class, and one of us said something in English and the other had to be the translator. I think that's what's very that was very cool for me. And finally, I liked also when we translate the homework in class, and I like it participate in the class of translation when we read a text, and after that we translated text immediately, and that's what's very exciting for me. The topics seen in class have served me in several ways. For example, when I am watching sitcoms in Netflix, I am able to listen to what they are saying and understand it without having to see the subtitles many times. That's amazing. I have more fluent to speak. When I buy something, I can understand the instructions. Or when I'm watching memes in English with expressions or with word abbreviations, I can understand the joke. I also can understand words in different contexts and relate and learn to use them later. We had a lot of funny moments, like in second grade when we did an exam and all the group didn't understand the instructions that said teacher Alex, and all of us has a different and wrong idea of what we gonna do. I also remember a sentence in a text like Bob has his own food truck or something like that, and we can't translate that sentence. We translate it in a wrong form, and we said that Bob was the food truck, and the teacher was laughing. Other funny and interesting moment is the next. We had a dynamic group of one person had to choose another person to translate the homework text, and our faces were like and when someone chose you, you were like, let's do this. That happens because one part of the group were very nervous, other were shy, and other was simply ready for the challenge. But at the end, we liked or loved that dynamic group, and we supported each other. Well, that's all of my experience. I really enjoy all my classes. I learned a lot. I met nice and smart people, and above all, I had a fantastic experience. Thanks for watching. Bye.